How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Digimon Ghost Game episode review and recap. Today's episode is episode 42, also known as Human Hunting. Oh boy. And it was really good 4 weeks that we had, right? Arguably, you can say 3.5 because I think that when we start getting to the week 4 and 5, I think this is week 5, things started to just fall off a bit. And I'm annoyed at character influences, and I'm also annoyed with how characters receive GulusGammamon. It's really early in my rundown. I know sometimes when I talk about animes and movies and shows, I don't go scene by scene. I like doing that with Digimon because I like talking about each individual part. I also noticed that while these type of videos are a little bit longer, I do tend to not miss as much. So let me know if you guys actually who watch these videos, if you would prefer me to just, instead of going play by play, just kind of summarize the thing and just put it into different slots. Watch my review of Dragon Ball Super Hero. If you want something like that, let me know. As a matter of fact, I'm going to let you know this right now. Please hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified of more videos just like this. Boy, oh boy. So I think the best way I can just start this off is I'm just going to show you the baddie of the day and just get that part out the way, right? Digimon of the day is Ouroboromon. Now, the one thing that is shocking about this is that there's actually 5 of these things. There's a red one, a blue one, a black one, a yellow one, and a green one. Too sweet. So 5 of them. That was actually the shocker part. So I kind of spoiled that a little bit ahead, but let's read about this thing. It's an undead Digimon. It is an ultimate level Digimon. Keep that in mind. We had one of the most iconic Digimon last week, and we got this guy right now, right? So keep that in mind. I got this big thing of water. I'm definitely going to need it before this is done. So this is an undead Digimon that lives in graveyards like a ghost. We were in a graveyard, Japanese style graveyard actually. And the whole setting reminds me of Tanjiro's first mission in Demon Slayer, when he was, when the ladies were being kidnapped by those twin demons that would pull them into this water dimension thing. That's the setting for that. Remember that, because that's very twisty and turning. I think that has to do something with Japanese, or maybe what's it called, Southeast Asian folklore a bit, especially with hopping ghosts. They have many twists and turns because the ghosts can only hop in one direction, they can't turn. But I digress. Lives in graveyards like a ghost. Is a berserker who never backs down against superior opponents and fights by any means. Sure does. It is thought that the reason it has an unusually intense obsession with victory is because it has taken in a large amount of hatred data from the Digimon it has defeated. On the other hand, it has virtually no sense of self, and when it's not fighting, it wanders around the graveyard foolishly, and has occasionally been witnessed conversing suspiciously with the beast skull fused to its arm. Wish they could have explored that a bit. That beast skull arm that we're talking about here, like in the picture before, that's where the sword comes from. That's kind of interesting, and it is a different color from the rest of the creature itself. Anyway, although the blade protruding from the skull is brittled and breaks easily, it has a characteristic of regenerating over and over again each time it breaks. We do see the red one break off the sword, so yes. Although the blade protruding from the skull, I already said that. Its special moves are a slash from its blade called Chiyoryuzu no Tachi. Surprised I got that on the first go. And detaching its will-o'-the-wisp body and burning a vast area with Rashomon. Also, in addition to its changing its shape freely, the Yungen scarf around its neck is capable of operating independently and has versatile functions such as wrapping around and capturing the enemy or striking them with the whole of the cloth very hard. This thing first showed up in the Vital Bracelet. It is another evolution line to Mushiamon. We saw Mushiamon, remember when Angormon had that haunted blade, and it's actually Mushiamon. Boy, oh boy, guys. So The scene is set. It is at night. A woman is running. We see Skull Will-O-Wisp, and as she's running, she turns a corner. The haunting lights are bright, and then they fade. Then above her is a Boromon. This Digimon's brand new. Didn't know who it was, so you get points for that. And it says, "Hold up with both your hands something that is red." And she goes, "What does that even mean?" "Oh, you refuse?" Brandishes the blade and stabs her and lifts her into the air, and she screams. Next morning, I don't think Ruli realizes how full of herself she is, but that's probably why she gets along with Airdramon, because she calls their group the Lirurun team. And Hero's like, "Oh, of course, that's why we're all together." Gammon's enjoying some, looks like a very delicious orange drink. Very interesting to note that only Angramon is in that Digimon invisible form. I'm gonna call it Digivisible, because you can only see it if you're wearing one of these. Well, vital bracelets, right? The Digivices. And so apparently their next thing is Oni, which Kirishiro, of course, he's like, "I'm not doing it, I'm checking out." Jellymon hushes his mouth. She's like, "You have until I'm done with this dessert to tell me what's going on." Apparently a client or fan, whatever, was on the site and says that her sister was captured by Onis, and now that she's done with her summer courses, or her summer course, she cannot ignore people that need help. So I see where it's very interesting, and it could have been great to explore that more instead of just with Kirishiro's side, where he, had a forum he had to go to, so couldn't do fun stuff. He had, Jellymon had to be with him. He went out. That could have been something else to explore, because he was missing when they fought easily one of the strongest Digimon of Digimon history at a level that none of their Digimon have gotten to yet. But I digress. They could have expanded that a little bit more, but now we're in episode 42. It's kind of late. Usually these series wrap up around episode 65, right? Still don't have much of a plot for the show, but I'm getting there. So even Kirishiro is like, "Man, I finished my summer form. I catch up on summer anime, and I have, look at that Gammamon picture. I have summer anime, and I have, fan events to go to." I'm like, I feel that. But where am I at here? But Angramon, no, I already said that, Angramon's like, people getting kidnapped and, people eating. This stuff isn't normal. And I'm straight up like, no shit. So next scene, we see them all on top of Airdramon being flown out. Angramon thanks him. He's like, "Hey, you need my godly help, right?" Big old ego. They have Jellymon in Kirishiro's knapsack, because dude's like, "I hear something rude," and just that ongoing joke, which was nice. So the young lady they meet, her name's Miori. We're looking for her sister Misako. That's the one we saw in the very beginning. She's been gone for 3 days. Hero asks, if there are others. There are rumors that they're Oni, and the police don't take this stuff serious. She says that later. I'm putting it in right now so I don't forget. And even Kirishiro says something very smart. He goes, "How do you know they're Oni if other people have been captured?" And she says, "They escaped." And he's like, "Oh no." And so he starts listing off all the things that Oni hate, like sardine heads, holly, olives. And here's the kicker, guys. When they first get here, I want you to take a guess. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to guess what happens the moment they land there before they meet Miori. Jellymon runs off. If you guess that, you've watched enough of this series to know that that's what she does. And this is a freaking detriment. I am sick of this freaking Deus Ex trope. You know what? And this does come back to bite her in the butt. I hope I remember my Digimon Adventure rant when I get there. I hope I remember. So she goes off to scope the island. They meet up with the young lady. They're going to do their walkie-talkie thing, right? So she has a bag for them, a black bag. I guess that's supposed to help. I still don't know how it's supposed to help, but it's supposed to help. Don't worry, I figure out how it's supposed to help later. So earlier on, before they got here, Gammamon asked Hero, "Well, what's an Oni?" He's like, "Well, they can be blue or red." And even I said knowingly, I said, they're Oni actually come in other colors traditionally, like red and blue. Red is usually in folklore. Red is usually physical strength. Blue is usually magic. There are some instances of green Oni, some yellow Oni, and black Oni, but the rarest of all are the white ones, which represent Mu, which represents emptiness. They are like the highest form of these, beings. Just a little background there. So, like I said, please don't take this stuff seriously. So, they're at night, they're walking the same path that her and her sister would always walk, and they come in a fork in the road. She said, well, getting to my house literally is the same distance no matter which way you go, and usually me and my sister decide based on my mood. And so let's split up the gang, this weird Scooby-Doo gang they have of Digimon. Excuse me. So boys go one way, girls go one way. Mind you, one Digimon apiece, not two on one side, not one that's while they're going this way, one is floating in the middle, one apiece, because Jellymon has to run off. She just has to, for whatever Digimon business she wants to drum up. Even she mentions when we get to after the scene I'm about to describe, she even says, "Oh, there's not enough Digimon or anything here that can drum up a business," which is like, you don't even get paid for these services. What is wrong with you? I digress. Earlier on, Kirishiro even asked Gammamon, can you protect me, please? It was played up for comedy, but this is probably the second or third time we have seen him on screen ask that when Jellymon has been MIA. So, both groups are moving, and there's some blue will-o-wisps that move behind the girls. And Gammamon whispers in Ruli's ear, telling her, be on the alert. Something is going on. But on the boy side, they get attacked. It's the red guy, it's the guy we're looking for. Forget that I spoiled for you earlier. There's 5 of them. Oh no, they're getting attacked. And he's like, show me your thing that's red. And they're running. Kirishiro has his hands up, and he looks at Hiro's hoodie. He's like, all right, cool. Oh, you're not gonna do it? Cool, here's my blade. Why are Digimon the dumbest things? You're made of computer shit, but you're dumb. Including, hold on, let me dial it back a bit. Espimon was at the little patio thing with them when they were eating earlier in actual invisible mode, talking about what I heard about human hunters in the area while I was looking for the real hero, Amanawana, whatever his name is. And I'm still thinking to myself, for you to be such a smart supercomputer spy thing, you are dumb as a bag of rocks. Anyway, that's how they knew what area to go to. Sorry about the hole in that whole part of the explanation. So now we're here, and things about to stab Kirishiro. Would be helpful if your Digimon was there, right? But Gammamon's like, nope, I'm gonna save him. And it's crazy because Gammamon even recognizes that, oh, that's a red one. But you know what? I gotta, he's ready for action. Saves Kirishiro, and the hero got in the way too. This time, Kirishiro has Hero's hoodie. Don't know how it came off that easily, but he has it. And dude's like, all right, I see it, but you don't have anything. And stabs Hero and lifts him in the air. And Gammamon tries to attack him, and the dude's scarf whips, hits him into the ground. He's like, Digimon don't count. And I'm like, okay. So a human hunting episode, they're hunting humans. All right. So he takes him away. Meanwhile, Ruli calls meanwhile, all this is going on, Kirishiro has his integer overflow. He freaking passes out. Useless. It's so weird that I love Tetismon, but it's just Kirishiro is freaking useless. And if you knew that, that your partner has this huge flaw, why in the ever-loving F, I won't say the 4-letter word, why in the ever-loving F would you leave your partner, Jellymon? Oh, it's because you're selfish and you're stupid? Wow, that's unfortunate that you are selfish and stupid. So Gammamon is crying, saying, they took Hero, they've taken him. Well, now they got a Digimon behind them. He's asking about Blue. Oh no, it's more than one. I already spoiled that. So the red one was talking about, we got to figure out who's the champion. I'm like, I still didn't put 2 and 2 together, even when we saw that there was another one. And He's like, hold up something blue. They hold up the black bag. Don't know why you thought a black bag, when it asked for blue, would help. Stabs. Gonna go stab. Angramon catches the blade. He caught a blade before with the Musiamon / Zababamon episode. So that's not out of character. It makes sense. So, the Digimon that they know little about. Even Angramon goes, that's Oboromon. There's little known information on this thing. Start running. So, they start running. Hero is taken up to a clock tower where a red portal opens up, and he looks in. There's hundreds of people who are connected by arm and arm, or leg and leg, or leg and arm, and they're merged together. He's like, I don't want to end up like that. He's like, whoop, flings in there. His arm connects with someone else's, and the wound closes up. It's an older man who's like, what are you doing out so late? And then the woman connected to him goes, are my children looking for me? And further on down the line, because Hero's at the end, further on down the line, there's a guy that goes, I don't want to end up like that, man. All the people behind him, a couple hundred yards away, they're all flat and look like paper lifeless things. And Hero is properly freaked the fuck out. He's just properly, oh no, oh, if I don't get rescued, I'm gonna become that. We're not done yet, Hero. Oh, we're not done yet. So, Ruli's running. Why didn't the paper bag work? I thought it would work. And I'm like, if they ask you, I wrote this in my notes, they ask you for colors, why would you think black would work? And it's answered because then there is a yellow and black one that are chasing two humans. And Angramon's like, Ruli, we gotta get all these people out of the situation. Double taps the thing, tells the girl, we'll meet back at your house. Disappeared, right? Well, now the green, yellow, and blue one, they're all like, hey, show me your colors. Show me your colors. Show me your colors. Like, this is gang warfare. Meanwhile, Jellymon, I told you she was upset about the business venture. She sees Kirishiro and is like, oh, he had an overflow. Shocks him into gear. He's now a cool version of himself. And he's like, show something red. Okay. Calls Ruli. Because now they're surrounded and the Digimon are arguing amongst themselves who's going to hunt her. Again, Digimon don't count. And Angramon does hit one, like backhands one, but he can't fight these things, right? And so she shows, and he tells her on the phone, you got to show him a color that they asked for. And he's like, red, blue, green, yellow. I'm betting there's a black one. There's 5 of them. There has to be 5 of them. Because of the black bag, right? Green. I think he said green. I don't know where green came from, but there was a green one. So she touches Angramon. I got something yellow. Cool. You with the crew. Flies off. Oh, black. Here's a black bag. Cool. Then blue. Can't find anything blue. Screw it. Digivolve into Simba Angramon. Thing fucking sorry for the language. Attacks, easily knocks him back with the scarf, stabs her, and carries her away. Meanwhile, Gammamon, everyone's chasing Gammamon. He's fighting, he's getting hurt, and he's running. He ends up running into the red one and gets stabbed again. Kirishiro and Jellymon both see this. And dude's like, well, you don't count, but I'm gonna take you anyway. Meanwhile, he's still on the phone with Ruli and says, hey, put on your GPS so I can track you. And he's like, it's not working. You got to turn off the field, the digital field. So she turns off the digital field. They track her. They go. Big old blue porter chucks her in. She gets connected at the arms. Well, now everyone is actively chasing. They see dude has broken his sword into a headstone, Japanese grave headstone. That's why the thing says they come back, and it's like, yeah, this one don't count. I'm just, he's just going to be here for entertainment. And now all 5 of these things together, they're going to judge who's going to be the king. Kirishiro's analyzing all this. Simba Angramon to his right. Tesla Jellymon to his left. She digivolved in between the running, which is cool. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to complain. And I'm thinking all the time in my notes, I'm like, you got to kill them. These things are hunting people for something this stupid. And this show loves, and probably has something to do with Japanese horror, it loves body dysmorphia, body just body horror, like your body being turned into something else. And all these portals open up and all the people dangle down like paper flags. Red has the longest. Red is going to be the king. So he moves his arms like this, his arm and sword arm like this. All the people become flattened out and they start wrapping around it. And Gammamon is looking in horror like, what are you doing to Hero? He's already said several times, let my hero go. Yeah, and he did introduce himself as Hero's little brother to Mirio. I think her name's Miro, whatever her name is, which I still can't believe people actually think he's just a hologram. Anyway, Simba and Goramon at least wants to save Gammamon, and he does so. Well, Gammamon is pissed. All the people have been turned into a massive scarf. So he's running and attacking like, give Hero back. Gets knocked the freak down again. Give Hero back again. This time the attack is so big. It knocks out both Simba and Goramon and Tesla Jellymon. And Kirishio's like hurt against a gravestone. Gammamon, he's getting more and more pissed. He's having this face. And he is so mad. He says in a distorted voice, you will pay. Rushes in. He gets hit again. He gets full black eyes this time. Full spooky black eyes. He turns into, and I love when he does the dark evolution, because Gammamon Shinka, no music, no sound, then becomes GulusGammamon. I do not understand why Kirishiro and Simba and Goramon and Tesla Jellymon are looking on in horror. This dude has saved you before. Saved you twice. His first time, he was going to kick all your butts. Second time, he rescued you all and murdered Arachnamon. Or Arukinimon if you're nasty. Still don't get why you're in shock, but okay. He laughs, and Red's like, and the red one has the whole time going, I'm king, I'm invincible, you're an insect below me. Now he's like, why are you laughing? He says, you think you the strongest because you won this game. Grabs him by the face and does dead end driver with his tail and stabs him, just murders this thing. He's like, I was the strongest. The scarf made of people, mind you, falls to the ground. And while he's wondering how can he lose if he was king, the scarf turns back into the people. You know, they're all checking in with each other and they're like, okay, oh no. And Hero looks up like, what's GulusGammamon doing here? Here's what's pissing me off. Why is this being played up that GulusGammamon is evil? We have actively seen, let's think about his appearance with Arukinimon, who actively bit off people's heads in front of other people and ate them and killed them. Hunted Hero just so she can kill him and eat him and his friends. And you all are like, oh, it's so horrible. This guy didn't give a damn about using you all. They actively stabbed and hurt young, old, women, children for a stupid game to find out who's going to be king. If anything, GulusGammamon is the hero. I was saying, kill them all, please. This time he goes after the blue one, takes away his blue color, and eats it. They're all like, okay, he's eating their color. He's like, yeah, this isn't enough. Goes after the, I want to say the green, no, the black one next. Then goes after yellow and green together and eats their colors. And then Hero is like, hey, GulusGammamon, stop. And GulusGammamon flat out goes, oh, so you're trying to order me around without even syncing up with me? There's your hint. There's another hint, Hero. Because how are you all supposed to be super smart, but you're super dumb? I don't care if they're kids or not. They are in some of the best schools in the freaking future. They figure out so much stuff. They know how to do so much shit. And you're telling me you're so dumb, you're still not processing this. Because the whole time, I'll get there in a second. And so he takes a step forward. And he goes, don't be getting caught by losers like this. I look forward to, looks like you took one step forward. I'll see you next time, Anarchy, which is a badass way of calling somebody big brother. He changes back to regular Gammamon. The other Oboromon are like, oh, that's the powerful Digimon I was talking about, the Jet Black Champion. Meanwhile, we have Black Growlmon on the top of a freaking roof, just looking. If anybody's seen Digimon Tamers / Digimon Season 3, you know exactly how big Growlmon is. He is Greymon size. How is no one seeing this massive dinosaur lizard on top of a roof? I digress. That's not even what I'm taking off points for. The ending, we get the thing about it. This is when I found out they were ultimates. I was kind of freaking out. Like, so all you guys had to do was evolve into Lamortmon, Tetismon, and you could have probably handled these jackasses. And teasing Kirishiro about Will-O-Wisp and going, hey, be careful when you go on your overseas trip in England, and he's going to cancel all his England, blah, 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 blah. And next episode is basically, it looks like Eismon. This girl has more body horror. That's what this show loves body horror, which is a good horror, but they're leaning heavily into it. It might be a Japanese thing. So what makes me mad is Shitty McShaggy, that's Kirishiro, and bossy chick, that's obviously Ruli. Remember earlier in the series where they're like, hey, don't try to call on that GulusGammamon either. And Hero's like, why though? I mean, maybe I need to talk to him. You went from that to, hey, stop that there. I cannot stand the goody two-shoeness. In any other season, they did not hesitate to murder because the things were trying to murder them. You only stopped if it showed honor, or if you went, yo, you really don't have to do this, and they were contemplating it. And you're like, hey, they're contemplating it. No. You have active Digimon that do not give a crap about human life. Let's just say they don't give a crap about life, period, right? There's arrogant a-holes, and we're just care. No, stop. You're so damn naive. You only wanted to kill Raremon because you're like, oh, he's in pain. They was going to murder everybody. Murder it anyway. Like, it's crazy to think that Mimi from Adventure Reboot is more cutthroat, being like, gotta do what you gotta do, suck it up and do what you need to do, as opposed to these future super smart kids that are just all, oh, why is GulusGammamon here? Oh no. Why? I contemplate this. And let's talk about Jellymon. If this was any other Digimon show, I'll pick any of the Digimon adventures, and you had a partner that was like, oh man, my partner got hurt because I wasn't around. I feel like crap. Still love this picture. This might be the thumbnail. Oh man, I gotta stick by you. And the partner will go, hey now, it's not your fault. You should be able to go out and do the stuff you want to do. It's fine. I'm sad because I wasn't strong enough to be strong until you get there, right? But in this show, she always runs off. And then one time I thought that she had learned her lesson about running off, and she just didn't. And it's so frustrating because like I said earlier, your business does shit. It does nothing. You get paid for nothing. You instigated the whole, oh God, what was her name? Sistermon Seal thing, which put everybody's lives in danger. And again, your partner, who frazzles out when he gets overly, perhaps, from pretty sure other people, maybe Kirishiro does have some type of, I don't want to say mental thing. Maybe this is supposed to be some funny way of showing a character that is supposed to be like, but he just seems like a scaredy cat. He seems like a Scooby-Doo character, right? Just, zoinks, guys. I don't think we should be doing this. And when you're supposed to be the smartest out of all of them, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And this story is so paper thin. You've shown sprinkle of the black Digimon, Black Agumon, Black Gabumon, I think it was Black Gabumon. We got Black Tailmon. I get it. Now, in my notes, I said, what if GulusGammamon is actually shades of what the Mega form's supposed to be, right? What if this is just a larval form? If you ever played Persona 5 or Persona 5 Royal, spoilers, kind of like where Arsene is actually, yeah, he's actually the big guy. And maybe that's what it is. That would be amazing. I'm probably setting myself up for disappointment because I'm probably writing something better. But you cannot come in 42 episodes, have sprinkles of shit here and there, and be like, all right, we're slowly paying this off. No, it's lazy writing. It's lazy. It's very lazy. You could have easily had a underlying story the whole time that instead of you selectively going, oh man, I don't know what my dad is. Oh, hey, can you give this to my dad? Okay, next episode. Oh, well, he doesn't know because he's a useless piece of crap. Okay. Oh man, Black Tailmon came out of nowhere 5 times. Black Tailmon is more useful than your actual dad. Black Tailmon MVP. But all these every single time is just I want them to take this more serious, because if his father is bringing in Digimon that are actively ruining the world, that is a problem, and he needs to face some type of persecution for that. Again, I think it's really lazy to be like, here's three humans, here's 3 partners. We want them to be more autonomous. We don't want the kids to talk down to them. You got to show me a show where Digimon were being talked down to. The ones that act like babies and children that were being babied and loved and coddled. Is that what you're talking about? No, you're just a lazy writer or a lazy producer. You're just lazy. You just don't want to add more people. Because even in Tamers, when you started with the 3 and then you get the Jerrys, the weird friend with the cap and the friend with the glasses, who later on they get Digimon and Jerry, worst tamer ever. Haha. You get these folks that are just like, oh, okay, you told us about your Digimon. We see them. We're going to actively help. Here's some more cards. Here's some stuff I know. Have something in the background. You could have also done more with the whole, they have summer stuff to do. You could have had Hero have to deal with more Digimon threats while Kirishiro had to do stuff and while Ruli had to do stuff. Ruli was gone for a episode, and Kirishiro was gone for a episode. Why is it that only Jellymon is the only pivot? And by pivot, I mean Tesla Jellymon. Moves have been done with Hero and with Ruli. Why is I get Gammamon, right? Gammamon, little brother to Hero, but Gammamon has a relationship with these other 2. I would love to see was like Beto Gammamon turns into Beto Gammamon, and Kirishiro's like, do the dang thing. Angramon is literally the weak link until he becomes Lamortmon. Literally. I know this has gone on longer than my normal reviews. I know this sounds like a rant. I wish they did more stuff. I actively wish they just I don't know, guys. This just frustrates the ever-loving crap out of me. I don't get it. I don't get it. And the show has so much promise. I keep telling people, there are lots of people that go, oh man, this show sucks. Oh no, this show is amazing. I go, no. The literal problem with the show is that it has so much potential, but they squander it by going, we only care about a monster of the week thing. There have been 3 times throughout this series where you could have spread out episodes to be 2 or 3 parters. Arachnamon, my oldest mon, the Paimon, that stuff could have been spread out, and it would have been nice, because now you will have your monster of the week, your theme of the week stuff, but then you have these what's a good word for them, these like signpost moments where it's like, hey, we're doing 2-parters, this is really important. The only time we ever got a thorough line is like, oh man, Bokumon is actually dead, because next episode is going to be talking about Gammamon dealing with that loss and trying to grow up from it. With all of these complaints that I have and the things that the end of this episode made me think, we're getting back into average territory for this show. But because we have the step forward, like GulusGammamon said, because GulusGammamon is a legend apparently amongst the fighting Digimon community, and because we got to see that Black Growlmon, I am willing to give it a 3.5. Only slightly above average, but for this series it is very much because we're just regressing. You guys couldn't fight an ultimate. I feel like this episode should have been in the 20s somewhere. Unbelievable. Like, I get it. Like, there could have been an underlying part where it's like, hey, there's a Digimon that even Angremon's like, we don't know a lot about this thing, but it just still feels kind of lazy, you know? But again, let me know what you think of this episode. Let me know what you think of my opinion. Leave a comment. I deeply would love to have a dialogue about this, because I have some issues with how this show is being run, especially after watching, hearing, and reading in subtitles what the producers were trying to accomplish with the show, what their thoughts on trying to do this show. I want this to have a even better time, and I sense a break coming sooner or later. I sense one coming, because the vital bracelets didn't have mega forms for these guys. Eventually, the danger is going to be ramped up regardless. I need an episode where they go, man, we're really getting outclassed here. We can't befriend everybody. Sorry, even Goku can't make friends with everyone. Yeah. As always, guys, thank you for taking some time out to spend some time with me. Please do not forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new here. Hit the notification bell even if you aren't. And do not forget to share. Wow. Be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear a mask. Be safe out there. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. Either way it goes, please do not be a jerk. Realize that you are not alone, and I will most definitely see you guys next time.